All right, cool. Just getting set up here. All right, cool. So let's start. I think we're good now. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, Trading Simplified. Let's go through a few things here. Let's go through the channel. If you haven't seen this before, definitely check out the channel, Trading Simplified. Check out the playlist, all free content for you. Check out the live pre-market analysis, which we're trying to do more often. The day trading P&L, we'll get into that on Fidelity Active Trader Pro. The members only as well. Crypto trading on Gemini, which you get access when you're a member of the chat. Also Fidelity, Vanguard investments, if you're looking to learn just about index funds, ETFs. We have a bunch of stuff here for you. And also check out the membership when you get a chance. You can sign up, you can get members first videos that I post now, and you get early access to that. If you're interested, click under here as well, under the links. You can become a member just by clicking right here in the link tab. If you want a more personalized experience, click on the WAP. And what you can do with the WAP is you get access to directly chat with me about stocks, chart levels, and trades. We have a group chat where everybody chats within the community. And you are able to get a stocks watch list. You get access to the YouTube portfolio. You have my portfolio guidelines, which is basically what I follow for this portfolio, just so everybody's on the same page. And we have beginners courses too if you're just looking to learn. It's cheap. It's like $10 a month. If you want to support the channel, definitely appreciate it. And just click on these links right above. And also check me out on Trade Simplify 7. I'm right here on Twitter. You could always message me on there as well. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go over some of the stuff. Just want to show you, we're using Fidelity Active Trader Pro for some of this. Just want to show you real quick. This is just the day trading P&L so far. We're up $29,677. You can see my biggest wins are on NVIDIA. I'm up over $12,000 on NVIDIA this year, which is awesome. If you're not sure what this platform is, this is Fidelity Active Trader Pro. It's up here on the top left. You can see it. This is a real trading platform that I use. I have it in my playlist. For those of you that are interested in seeing it, you can just check it under the free playlist to learn more about it. Let's just go over a few levels. There's a few things I want to break down that I think are crucial, and we're just going to start going through the stocks. So looking at the stocks here, we can see that NVIDIA has been very, very volatile. We'll use Webull for this part because it's just easier to use the charting for it, and it's cleaner, it's crisp. But you have to look at the last day, which was the 18th. We're just going to go on the 5-day here. We're going to look at the 18th, and you can see we made this low here of 114.54. And when you're looking at it, this is going to be the line in the sand. You have to remember that Daddy Powell is speaking today, Jerome Powell at 2 p.m. Eastern. So definitely be cautious. Sometimes the markets don't really want to follow the levels when you have that kind of access. You have the algos trading. But if anything, if NVIDIA breaks this 114.4 level, you have more downside coming. I mean, you can see it very easily. This is kind of the line in the sand. You've had multiple touches here at this point. I do believe that NVIDIA has to hold this level. Otherwise, we're in trouble. The other trade idea that I was thinking, if you have a more longer term outlook on this, is let me know in the comment section below. I made it so subscribers only can send messages. So if you want to send a message, just send it there. Yeah, Joshua Young, he's one of my WAP members. He pays to join on there, which is awesome, but I can't get his $2. I've been trying to get his $2. If you join the membership, it costs $2. He won't do it. So let me know here. So I'm It's not exactly a inverse head and shoulders, but I'm looking at NVIDIA on kind of like a month chart here, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. It's not a exact correct inverse head and shoulders where this would be the shoulder, this would be the head, and this would be the extra shoulder right here. And then I'm looking for this move here where we get a consolidation and then a bounce. That's like the inverse head and shoulders that I'm looking for with this. It's more of a long-term perspective because it's going to need probably a few months to play out. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's just an idea I've been thinking of. If we can hold this 114, 115 level. So taking a look at that, that's what I'm trying to play out here. But I think that this move completely fails, or this whole inverse head and shoulders trade idea, it fails if we drop below this level here. So I definitely just be cautious. If we break below the 114 level, retest here at 114, the shorts are going to love this 114.5 and then push down. That would be another trade idea that I think would be more viable, especially with this market being so weak. It's just been like that, unfortunately, for the Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100, and it really has just sold off a lot. You look at just the last month, we've had nothing but selling pressure from 541 all the way down to about 466. That's a 13-14% pullback. You definitely have to be cautious with that. It is clear that we do not have momentum on our side to the upside. So downside is definitely intact. Definitely watch out. QQQ must reclaim this level. This is the overall 100 NASDAQ ETF, where it holds like Microsoft, Google, Home Depot, all that. So I definitely would be cautious with that. All right, so here we go. So I'm looking at QQQ 484, 485. Looking here, I think this is where you are going to be the line in the sand where you are going to need that push up. You have to push up above 485 to push up like that. That's what you're going to need. So overall, it's still weak. Look for the short in QQQ around 485, 484. I think you are going to just be patient here. Obviously, watch the low at 466. And we have to see what the market does. It's been very weak, and you just have to be very cautious. Today, I would be trying to get in and out. I would not be trying to, hold a position, because at 2 p.m. you have Powell speaking about the rates, the interest rates. So that's going to be a thing you got to watch there. If you're going to trade semiconductors today, I think you really don't want to be bullish until SMH can pass this 235 level. It just showed that there is more resistance just at the flat 230 level. So I'm not using the 230 level as a sign of bullishness. I do believe it's got to pass this major resistance zone now. You have a zone touch here at 235, a touch here at 235, another one here at 235. And then look, you broke this level. This is what I mean when people talk about this break and retest strategy. You broke this support level right here, and it curled back up, retested it at 235, and then failed. And then it's been making lower lows. So in order to get above this and be bullish on semiconductors, I thought the GTC event maybe would have potentially had a bullish catalyst for NVIDIA, which could have helped push SMH up. It's got to reclaim this 235 level, and then it can make that push back up. That's really what I would be looking for if you were going to be trading this. So looking at it here, I would definitely just be cautious. I think 235 is still your short entry for the semiconductors if you're just going to try to short the SMH. Now, if you're getting bullish momentum from NVIDIA, then your SMH is going to move up, and that would be a clear indicator where you can start to make a decision there. Let's go over Microsoft. Microsoft is another stock that I do think is potential buying opportunity. Just looking at the last 3 months to 6 months chart, we have traded all the way from highs of 456 all the way down to 376. It's a 17% drop, which is pretty big. which you actually think about just the overall drop there, it's pretty large. So I would definitely be cautious here. Same thing, shorts. If you're looking for put options, this is really the way to go at this point. I'm looking to short the market, looking for opportunities where we get bounces into previous support zones, consolidate 390. Microsoft needs to either claim 390 and then make a move forward, or it is going to hit that 390 and then it's going to sell off. I think that's really what you're looking for with this, is you want to see this move where you come up to 390 and then you start failing at that level. So watch the 390 there, look for that entry there. Apple is making lower lows. This is not giving you any indicator that it is making money. So just be cautious. Look at this sell-off. This is a violent sell-off. I'm just going to go on the month so you can actually really see it in more detail. We sold off from 250 all the way down to 208. That's a 16% drop. These are big drops for big tech. It's been very volatile. Anybody that's in my WAP or part of the YouTube channel with like a member knows in my portfolio, I hold FSPGX. That's a lot of growth tech stocks, the Microsoft Apples. What I see here right now is I see a little bear flag forming, and I'm wondering if we are going to get further downside right here, and we're going to start moving lower. It just, all things are indicating to this right now because the market is so weak, to see if we get further downside coming. So looking at the 6-month chart, let's go out a little further to the 1-year chart. Your support was supposed to be around 215. It's struggling to hold. I'm wondering if we're going to retest 200 today, especially after this FOMC meeting. It all depends what they decide to do. We're just consolidating within this range right now, which is only like a 5-point range. The way you know that this bear flag is not valid is if it just breaks above here and starts holding above 215, 217, then we will know it's not valid and selling off doesn't happen. Taking a look at AVGO, this is another stock I think is going to go to 155 later on this year. You have this sell-off from 255, came all the way down to about 180, 178. So just be cautious here watching this. This is another move I'm watching. You have a bear flag forming on basically from early March all the way up until now. Today's the 19th. So watching that for a potential move down, just got to see where it goes. Support would be somewhere around these previous resistance zones, around 165 to 166. So that's the move I'd be looking for. If we can get a break of the 186, come all the way down to about 166. Celsius stock, this stock blasted up to $36, sold off after its earnings. Had an RSI, it's crazy. Look at the RSI on this one, an RSI of 90, which you can see right here. RSI of 90, sold all the way off, was consolidating this $25 range and is now finding support. It's finding its legs. So we need to see, is Celsius stock going to continue, or is it going to do what it normally does and reject, and then reject? And when it does reject, it rejects hard. It rejects hard, like 7-8 points. So you just got to be very cautious with that. Definitely be careful. I think the overall support level is this clear $25 range. If it's gonna retest this again, I think it's gonna fail and start making new lows. I mean, you can only retest these support levels so many times. I mean, 1, 2, 3 broke through. This is the 4th one, 5th one. You know, it's scary to buy these stocks when they're continuously retesting them. Let's go over NBIS. This is a stock that I'm interested in buying for a longer term perspective. I'm just waiting for a further downside. I posted this on the Twitter actually. Pretty much, I think last night I did this. I'm looking for this $18, $19 range. And looking at it here, I do believe we have that bear flag form set up right here. It's starting to consolidate. Let's see. We're going to need, you really got to be cautious. You got to wait till today, see what the FOMC meeting is. See what they talk about, the interest rates. See how the markets analyze it. Just let the market tell you where it wants to go. Sometimes it's good to sit these days out and just see where the market's going to go. Is it going to continue being bearish, or is it going to, you know, actually finally find its footing? I think we're going to get a turnaround, to be honest. I think we've had so much bearish activity for the last 2.5 months that we might see an actual change here. But if you're just looking at direct levels on NBIS, Definitely be cautious here. Watch out for the $25 range. 25 needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, I think your next test is going to be down at $20 to 18. That's where I'm looking. I think 15 is a little low. I think maybe if that's like an oversold proportion, I mean, that'd be awesome, especially if you're looking to pick up shares. But just looking at the max on this chart, I mean, it used to be $10 a share. I'm not sure if this used to be a SPAC or not. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But $10 would be the ultimate, but that's a huge drop. I mean, you need something fundamentally to go wrong with this. Looking at a VOO, we just reviewed that. I'll just look at the SPY. The SPY is the most traded. Looking at SPY, it's trying to reclaim this level right here. It got above at 570, pulled back to 563. You got to get above this 570 mark and then start moving forward. Overall, the SPY is just weak. I definitely would be cautious. Let's go over BJ wholesales. I think what is this? Line debugger. There we go. Okay. I think what we're seeing here is we are seeing that BJ's is struggling to get above 118. It is starting to make lower lows. You can see it right here. This is the head. And then right here is where it's starting to form this move, where it's going to retest this 107 level, and then it's going to fail further down. I think $100 per share would make sense, the psychological level, but you can't ignore this was the previous top at 107.8, so I understand that people want to try to make an entry there. So yeah, Joshua likes to buy the dip. He buys the dip and then it keeps on dipping. I'm going to show you the stock that we bought together thinking, hey, we're going to buy this stock. We're going to be in good shape. I'm going to have to add to this position eventually because this was Jay Young's recommendation. Let's buy it at $7. We bought it at $7 and we are down. Let's see how much we are down right now on this stock. I bought around like $7. We're down about 58, 60%. So unless I continue to add to this, which I got to do a little more research on this stock because I pulled back 60%. It's a pretty big pullback. This looks like a pump and dump. 3 months goes down from $10.50 all the way down to about $2.80, 72% decline. Yeah, I'm not going to add unless I have day trading gains on that. I'm not willing to put my own other money into that. It's got to be house money. SPLG, this is another ETF that monitors the S&P 500 for those of you that are new to trading or investing. This is more of a long-term investment if you're investing in something like this. This is just the SPY. It's the S&P 500. It's just another example like that. Definitely check your levels. If we get further downside, you really got to look at year to date here. Looking at year to date, we already know that the S&P 500, looking at $72 down here, is around, look at that, 10% pullback in here. So not bad. If you get a further pullback down to $60, that'd be awesome. But continue to dollar cost average long term. You're not going to be disappointed if you're holding for a few years. Just always something to think about. All right, let's go over the next stock here. Let's see. What's next on this? Walmart. Walmart is here. I just want to switch this. Hold on one sec, guys. All right, so looking at Walmart here. This is really the move I've been looking for. I'm waiting for this bounce. I'm waiting for $80 per share. You can see that we clearly have, let me just get rid of this for a second. It probably makes it confusing. We have this this hold so far at $84, $83. I think what we need to do is if we get further downside today, definitely be cautious. Look right here and look for that move back down to $80. I mean, I'm just waiting for it. I have alerts set, and then sometimes that's all you got to do. You don't want to keep trading it. You just want to wait and just wait for your levels to come. I marked it out. I set the alerts. In the short term, if you want to day trade this, you have to look at that $83 range. Make sure it's holding it. In my opinion, this is showing you it's making lower lows. You can see it right in here. It is making a lower low compared to here at this $89 mark. And then right in this range here, it's a little bit lower, around 87. So lower lows. Let's just see where it goes from there. You're going to need that overall market move at 2 p.m. of J-Powell approving it, bringing out that money printer. and start making a bullish move for us. Looking at MU technology, MU is doing pretty well right now. As you can see in the last 6 months, just look how that is traded. It is literally, this looks terrible looking on this chart. It is traded just like this, with a common theme of $97 being the support, which you can pretty much see right there, right there, right there, here, and there. I would say if you're going to trade this, just be cautious. You have the $100 mark level of a psychological support that you could trade. But deep down, I would say that $97 is your line in the sand if you're going to go long on this and try to be patient for a pullback. But I'm telling you, just be cautious. You have the Fed meeting today at 2 p.m. Sometimes levels don't apply when it comes to those kind of news events. So you just have to be very cautious. All right. Next stock, let's review. Let's go over Texas Instruments. This stock hit a low of 172. And then just looking at it on the 6-month chart, the 1-year chart, this is the support level around 178. It's got to hold this level. You have multiple touches. Right here was a big one. Right here was a big one. Do I think it's time to buy it? No, I don't think so. I'm looking at the 1-year chart. I'm looking at the RSI. RSI is 41 on this. We got to see if we're going to get a potential bounce here, but let it prove itself. Let it prove it can hold this 180 level. I'd really like to see it get back up to like 200. If you're going to start dollar cost averaging in, I understand your thinking, but if you're going to invest like $1,000, maybe do 20% of your buy and then leave more chips on the table for later. SEHD is another common ETF that people hold long term. Sometimes it's nice to kind of trade these guys and just kind of go in and out of them. It's a good way to learn how to trade something a little slower moving, only moves 20-30 cents in a day. It'll give you an idea of when you're trading it, just to learn how to do your buys and your sells. But if you're just going to dollar cost average over time, that works as well. You can look for this right here. Look for the support level 27.50, and that's about it. Maybe to start adding more shares. Tesla, anybody that follows my WAP or my YouTube channel knows that I'm a Tesla fan. I buy shares of them. We've been increasing position size. And we cannot ignore the fact in the last 2 months that Tesla has been murdered. It went from $488 a share all the way down here. It's a 53% decline. I bought shares in that YouTube portfolio a while ago at 150. We started really adding in the position around 220s. And now we are seeing, is this going to hold? Are we going to hold this $220 share level? This is definitely important. Definitely be cautious. And what I'm looking for here is, I just want to see if we can get above this level here. 250 is a psychological level that we are trading within right now. So zooming in here, this is your trading zone. And just watch that 222 level. If 222 level breaks, we're making newer lows. We're going to head to 200. But the way I look at it is your risk reward here. You could, if you're buying around 225 to 230, you buy there for that risk reward of just getting back up to 250. So you're risking 7-8 points to try to make 230 to 250. That's 20 points. That's a better R&R ratio if you're trying to trade that right there. So definitely be cautious. I'm buying them more long term. I'm waiting for the swing back up to 300, 400, 500. But it's really up to there right there. Let's go over Bitcoin real quick for all the Bitcoin lovers out there. I just saw it up here on Webull. Bitcoin's really got to reclaim this level. It's got to break 85,000. 85,000 is turning into resistance. Look at this. It was support. Now it's turning into resistance. If it cannot get above this $85,000 level, expect more downside. Just watch what happens at the Powell meeting today. That's going to be another sign for you as an indicator. All right, so looking at Costco stock here, looking at the year to date, it actually looks like pretty bearish. Just looking at the year to date right now, going from 1078 all the way down to 881. That's a 17% pullback, which is, if you look at Costco in the long term, that has not happened in a very long time. This stock has finally broken its trend. It has been doing this since about 2023. Let's go to the max chart here. You zoom out to here. 2023 is really where it went from doubled, 500 up to 1,000, which is incredible. So over 2 years, it's been doing this. Your first level, I'm not buying at these levels, but your first level is clear. You could see it $880 per share. I'm not buying Costco unless we get some kind of event and this thing just dies. I need to see this really sell off. But 880, Jay Young, if you want to start your next bag, you want to hold this position, definitely check that out right here at 880. I'm not going to buy here though. I'll announce it in the WAP when I do buy. But not yet, not at these levels. I got to see lower levels on this. All right, looking at here, Intel. Intel stock has been doing very well ever since they announced their new CEO. So I was thinking we were going to get a rejection here. It's starting to form a little bit. That the rejection point was $25 per share. We got to see, is it going to hold this $25 per share? Because you had these clear rejection points right here and right here as well, where there were no buyers coming in. Now that it's broken through the $25 range up to 26, pulled back 25, we are going to find out, is it going to hold this level? Do I prefer just trading stocks opposed to futures or options? I mainly trade stocks. I don't trade futures. I do trade options as well, but I don't really advertise that on my YouTube channel. I want my YouTube channel to be more for beginners traders, more for intermediate traders. I think a lot of traders underestimate how fast you can lose in options. And because I trade with a bigger bankroll, I feel like I'm okay trading options because I can make day trading gains on the year. If I make $1,000 in a day, I'm not afraid to risk $1,000 a day in options. But I just think options, you really have to understand the market. I do believe you should have some experience under your belt. It's just a personal preference. I think that options is very, very risky for people that really do not understand it. You could lose more than 100% of your investment if you're opening selling positions, or if you're selling options to people. So you just got to be very cautious. I think options is a great tool where you can make 500% in a day, but you can also lose 100% of your portfolio. So I just be very careful in those positions. I hope that helps with it a little bit. But trading options, I try to wait. A good example for options is, let me just find, there was one stock that I think it was Amazon I was looking for. Amazon would have been an example right here. When I'm trading a break and retest where it was multiple testing right here at 199, it supported it again, and then it failed. This is where I'd be looking for my options play. This is where I would buy a 3-month expiration or I would say more like a 30-day to 45-day expiration, because I don't know if 200 is going to be the exact level, but I can see that it's failed. It's supported it multiple times, then it failed right here, and then I'd be trying to take profits if it goes down to 193 or 194. That's what I would look for when it comes to options. I try to trade options when I get a break and a retest coming up into it. That's how I look at it. I hope that kind of helps answer your question, but I don't really do leaps. A good example, Tesla, Google stock we'll get into right now. I've just been buying shares of them. I haven't been buying actual options on them. I don't want to worry about time decay, and I don't want to worry about paying an actual premium for them. I just want to buy the shares because I know I'm going to hold them long term. But certain positions I will. If it's weekly and I think that there's going to be movement and the delta is not too expensive, I'll do it. But anyway, so I have been buying Google. Google is a stock that I think is a no-brainer buy. I'm holding this. Keep dollar cost averaging in. For those of you members of the YouTube channel, you see the cost basis, the ones that are part of the WAP as well. I appreciate your support. I'm looking for a move later on in the year from 160 all the way back up to 200. That's the move I'm looking for. That's a 24 to 25% move. Obviously, do your own research. Don't just follow a YouTube trader like me. Do your own research if you want to buy these stocks. But for me, I see Google pulling back at 209. Down to 160, I'm buying the dip. I mean, this is a 25% pullback in a market that we know is just weak right now with the sentiment, with the tariffs. I'm going to buy these stocks looking at the end of Q3, Q4, looking for that dip. That's how I look at it. So let me just put it for trading stocks. I know I answered it in the live stream, but just for those that are reading the chat, just so you can see it there as well. I do believe Google has an opportunity here. If you haven't gotten a position yet, 153 to 155. Hopefully some more downside today. I want to see if 160 is going to hold. We had that new low where we just slid from 164 down to 156. if I can re-add again around 159, 160, I'm going to be looking to buy these stocks as well, just adding to my Google position. It's getting pretty big in my YouTube portfolio. I've noticed it's going to be about like 10% when I'm done, buying them. But I'm okay with that. That's not a bad position in my opinion. So Meta, and when you buy individual stocks, just keep it in mind. I do this for my YouTube portfolio for everybody following. 10% maximum allocation for your individual stocks. Don't go crazy. Don't by buying 30% of Meta and just only buying one stock. Diversify it in your index funds, your ETFs. Leave maybe 5 to 10% allocation your individual stocks and go from there. Looking at Meta here, $87 up to $740, pulled back to $540. Meta is a money printing machine. These guys make money, but right now, this is clear resistance. We have touch points from 740. We are clearly rejecting. Let the trend tell you where it's going. Don't try to predict. Don't try to just buy this bottom and think this is the bottom here. Looking at Meta, I want to see a move back down to at least 550. That is where I would feel comfortable chipping in and buying more shares. Right now you're at 580, and I know you probably think, oh wow, that's so far down. It's not that far away. And if you're going to chip in, it makes sense. You pull back another 5%. That's not too far away. And looking here, you have 740 back down to here at 578. That's a 22% pullback. If you pull back here, it's another 25%. I think that's a pretty fair correction on the year. You will be hitting clear support around that 550 psychological level. That's where I might start to dab in. I'm going to set my alerts for Meta. If you're starting out with a small account of 2,000, I definitely want to start building more capital by trading. I made money off the Microsoft. Oh, that's good. I'm happy you made money off the Microsoft option. I think Joshua Young, if he's still watching this live stream, he's part of the WAP. He started with a little bit of money as well, and his portfolio has really grown. We've seen it on the WAP channel. His portfolio has really grown just looking at how he's been just dollar cost averaging into like SPLG, FSPGX. Yeah, he buys some individual stocks, but he's building the foundation right now. So it just depends. I mean, Ravnus, I don't know if you have 401ks, you have another foundational account where you are buying long term at least. But I'm just a strong believer that you see any YouTube trader showing you that they make money, like I make money day trading. But I have a long-term portfolio where I have index funds and ETFs that have grown throughout the years. So it gives me a little more wiggle room. So for me, I think it's more important to build the foundation, maybe do some paper trading in Webull if you don't have that much capital, and just save up until you have enough money to day trade with. You can do that if you want to go for the options trades, go for it. But it's easier to make money when you're trading, when you have more money and you take the time to paper trade and learn that. But you could definitely do the options trading, but you're limited with like $1,000 or $2,000 to weeklies or 2 weeklies, bi-weeklies, where the premiums aren't as expensive. That's my thought. I mean, I'm not trying to discourage you. I just don't want you to lose money. And options is very risky. And anybody I see on YouTube, I always want to hit them with a caution sign at least. Somebody at least has to give the caution sign. It might as well be me. Looking at it here, $35 per share, SMCI. I haven't really done too much research. Oh, perfect. So good. Nice. You have the Roth and the 401k. So Jay Young, I'm sure you heard it, but that's good. As long as you're building something on the side with the Roth and 401k, then I think that's fine. I mean, you want to try options, that's good. Do an amount of money that you're willing to lose, that you're not going to lose sleep over. That's all I'm going to say with the options. Just make sure you're not, putting the house, you're not taking out a HELOC on the house and trying to do options trading. Do money that is spare, discretionary, that you're willing to lose. Maybe 5% of the account max. Nothing crazy. Let's go over AMD. AMD, like I said, guys, going over this SMH earlier on this live stream. Just be cautious. Look for SMH to break 235. That's going to show our continuous momentum. We're going to find out now if AMD is truly bullish here. It is finally hitting, to me, this is short territory. Look how thin these wicks are at 105. I am not against put options here, as we were just talking, but you have to have your clear stop loss right above the 106 range. If we can consolidate, let's see if it consolidates at 105 and then pushes back down for a rejection, especially before 2 o'clock. That is a possibility as well. Yeah, Ravnus, I think that's a pretty good idea. If you have your foundational 401ks, Roths all set up and you're dollar cost averaging in them, then go for it. But just go with an amount that you're willing to risk. All right. SoFi stock. I actually am getting more interested in SoFi stock. We have pulled back within the last month from $19 all the way down to $10. And that's a 41% decline. And I was telling people that this is a risky stock to be buying at $19. It eventually can pull back. We were calling out the $10, $11 range. We're actually pretty close there. I'm not sure if we are getting it's not exactly a bear flag, but it looks pretty steep at this point. So it might not be a bear flag at this point. But it's getting close to where, are we just going to sell off here? Because we're just consolidating in this range. And then now we just fell back down to $10. If we sell off to $10, I'm definitely not going to buy them yet. I want to see if we can break the $10 level. I want to get SoFi in like eights, in the $8, $7 range. So I'm going to be cautious with them. Just be patient. Amazon, let's just really quickly. This is the option. I'm going to give you an idea, Ravnus, just for this if you're still watching. I would be looking if we can get that move back up 193. If we can push up strong today before FOMC, 198, 199. This is where I would look. I would cut my loss above 201 and then look for that pullback down. That's what I would look for. Because just looking at the overall market, looking at QQQ, you can see clearly that this is a rejection zone for QQQ around 484. You have 476 right now for the Qs. And if it gets up to there, this was the first support level that broke, retested it right at 485, then failed. So it gives you an idea of what you're looking at. So I definitely would, if you're going to trade your options, you're going to short a position, you have to look at the overall market. Look at what it's doing and see, is the QQQ, is the SPY hitting previous resistance zones before you jump in there? I cannot stress that enough, because if the news like Powell likes, if the algos like what Jerome Powell says today at 2 p.m. or 2:30, this level is going to blow right past 485, and you don't want to sit there holding the bag as it continues going up. We went over Walmart. I just want to review. If there's other stocks you guys want to review, please put it in the chat for me. We got Hood stock here. Let's look at Robinhood. I've really been like, I never really traded a Robinhood after their whole GameStop incident where you couldn't buy more shares in GameStop. I think right here, if you're gonna short them, I just see it right here. I mean, you have clear resistance points right in this area. I mean, look right here. You get a touch here at 43, a touch here at 43, another touch here at 43. All resistance broke through. Tried to retest it here now, and it retested again at 42.90. And now if we get that move back up, I just think the market is really setting up for this move. Just retesting, confirming these new resistance levels because you broke through it, back up to 43, back down. That's what I'm looking for, watching that. Let's see here. SQQQ, for those of you that do not know, this is just the inverse of QQQ. So if you're trading SQQQ, you have to be watching QQQ. You should really be buying SQQQ if you're looking for this, like if you're looking for these breakthroughs. SQQQ is the inverse. So that means if the QQQ goes down, SQQQ will gain value in its share price because it is the short version. It's the ultra short QQQ. So obviously it's got to break above $40. You're going to need a new low on QQQ. Let's go over Uber. Jim Cramer has been pumping this stock on his I was watching the video on it yesterday. I sent it to my guys in the WAP, the video. He has been pumping Uber, saying that this company's going to do well. So he might have put the Jim Cramer curse on it. So we're going to find out. Time will tell. If you're following just the trends here and you're trying to trade within this pattern, I understand that. That's fine. Wait for a further pullback. Wait for $68. See if you can get some support around here, $68, $66. To me, I'm staying far away from this. I'm waiting for a better pullback. I want to pull back to like 50s. That's what I'm looking for with Uber. What else? Rigetti. This is a company this is the quantum computing. Quantum computing just had its debut with the NVIDIA talking about the GCC event. It went up to a high. It pretty much moved up from $8 up to $11.75 right before he started talking. Started pulling back here. Now we're at $10. I have my alert set. This is not a company that they make no money, so let's not forget about that. They don't make any money. But people are buying quantum computing thinking it's going to be the next thing that goes to the moon. So I may miss it, but I'm waiting for $7. I'm waiting for that pullback. I got to get a pullback back here, and at least 20-30%. Looking at Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is establishing a support level. It made that low at 416. And you can see now it made a beautiful reclaim of this level at 460. 460 here failed, went back up, consolidated, and then blasted up. And then what did it do? It retested this same level at 460. So as long as 460 holds, I think LMT is a buy right now. So I definitely would be looking at that. All right, now let's see here. Carnival. Trying to see if there's any other stocks we want to review. We got DraftKings up in here. This is a stock I used to own at $17. Sold them for a profit and then just kind of never looked back. Looking at the max on this chart, they started off as a SPAC, $10, went up to $74, got pumped, and then sold all the way down to $11. Sometimes it's good to look at stocks like this so you can realize that they don't always go up. If DraftKings does break this $35 range, let's move this down a little bit. If it does break this range around $35, I think we're headed for more downside, down to about $30 per share. So I definitely just would be cautious when trading them. All right, so just keep that in mind. Be cautious. And look out for that, okay? Let's see here. Go over a few other stocks, and then we'll end this. Let's go over Serve. Serve stock. This is another stock Jay Young likes. He likes to buy this stock as well. Jay Young? Do you sell these, or do you still holding this in your portfolio? You got Jay Young? Jay Young, you still got Serve? Because I'm really curious at this point. So, because we are actually bouncing off of this $6 range level, $6.30, $6.50. So if it does hold this level, to me this looks very weak, like it's going to just continue selling off. But if you're buying at $6.80 and then you can follow stop loss at $6.50, maybe you can get lucky and get this nice curl back up. But once it lost NVIDIA, that was kind of like the nail in the coffin. It needs that buy right there. Let's see here. Starbucks is a stock I buy long term. I thought they were going to make this move back up above 100, reclaim this level. We're still waiting for that level to be reclaimed. What I'm looking for with Starbucks is that reclaim of $100 per share, and then right here, and then blast up to 110. That's the move I want. I've been adding to them around this $100. Being patient. I'll add some more if we get down to 92. Wow, that stock really died, ChatGPT. All right, guys, so looking at this, let me see, let's move this down. Where is it? There it is. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into the live stream. Definitely consider becoming a member here. You can click on here for the YouTube channel. We'll review on the weekend. We'll go over the stock analysis again, the levels. Be cautious with the 2 p.m. Jerome Powell speech. All right, you're going to get a lot of volatility during that. If you're considering joining the WAP, definitely check it out. Costs about $10 a month right now. You can directly chat with me during the day. You have the stocks watch list, the YouTube portfolio that I show for everybody. I also show the YouTube portfolio on YouTube. You just have to be a paying member. There's 3 tiers. You can pay the first, second, or third tier. The second and third tier will give you access to that as well. You also get it in my WAP, so you can just join here if you want to see it as well. This is where I'm most active, is on the WAP. Beginners courses, the portfolio guidelines, and the announcements, and directly chat. Also, check me out on Twitter. Trade Simplify 7, that is where you will find me. And for those of you that don't want to pay membership, totally fine. If you want the membership, you get access to other videos that I'm creating just for members first, or members only, different strategies, my Gemini crypto portfolio, and just other posts and videos just for you. If you're looking just for free content, go through my playlist, watch these. These are good stuff here. This is where I'll post this live video here. We have my Day Trading P&L 2025, the members only playlist for those that pay. They either pay $2, $10, or $20 a month to be an ultra supporter. And then you have the crypto trading on Gemini. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to my live stream. I appreciate you supporting the channel. And like always, hit the thumbs up if you feel like you learned something of value, and subscribe.